Giving generously is just this idea of kind of challenging ourselves to make sacrifices and put God first, and ask Him, hey, how can I be a part of what you're doing on earth? My name is Bennett Smith, and I serve on our creative arts team as well as on our vision team. You know, when I think about what it would look like if our entire church, was just contagiously generous and giving of all that they have, first of all, our doors would be, overflowing, because people have just an immense amount of need. The things that I've seen the Lord do and how I've seen, whether it's kids come to know Christ through beach camp, or it's the giving of resources to reach families who don't have as much as my family does. Being able to see that and be a part of that is what God calls us to do. And I wouldn't get to, and my family wouldn't get to be a part of those things if we held too tightly to what God's blessed us with. When we as a church decide that we're going to go all in and be generous with all the things that God's given us, we become that shining light that God talks about, that's attractive to others, because they know that they can come to this place and they can get what they're looking for without fear of repercussion, without expectation of anything in return, other than we as a church have decided to offer up the things that God has so richly blessed us with so that we can bless others. Some of the best ways that we can just start developing habits of giving generously is just to start. It sounds oversimplified, but just to start giving. Of your time on Sunday, maybe pick a place to serve. Bring something to church when there's a need. Malachi 3:10, God says, "Test me in this, and see if I won't pour out a blessing on you." And I think we as a church need to be careful that we don't go, oh, well, if I give God this, then He's going to give me back, double or triple or quadruple. But He does say He's going to be faithful to bless us. And so I think we can be confident that as we step out in faith and we begin to offer things to God, it's His anyway, that He will be faithful to keep His promises and return those things back to us so that we can continue that process of giving back. And as we do that, God gives us more, and we can continue to give more. God is after our heart, and He's willing to work with us little bit by little bit by little bit to turn us into the people that He wants us to ultimately be. And so for the folks that are, hey, how do I do this? How do I get in? I want to be generous, but where do I start? I would just say, just start with what you can, what you feel comfortable with, and see what God does. He will honor. He honors the smallest gift, and He honors the largest gift, as long as they're given out of obedience and a spirit of grace and a spirit of humility to help other people.